Live, baby. Are we live? I think we are. I think we're alive now. Do 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 do. I love that opening bit of the live stream where everyone's like, "There I am. I can see myself." Hey everyone. Hey guys, it's Euan with the Airzo. How's it going, everybody? It's kind of funny because I just started the stream today and I realized there was something really interesting going on in the restoration center that I have to ignore. We have a plane, one of the planes that we have that does biplane rides. Typically, it's leaving us today. It's going back to wherever it's hangared. So that would have been cool to see. But I'm here with you guys because today we're going to be building something. I figured today will be a fun little day. It's Saturday. My boss isn't around. I'm bored, and you know how it is. So I figured, hey, let's go build something because I knew we had a damaged one of these in our Flyby Museum gift store. This is the Top Gun Maverick A-18E Super Hornet kit by our friends at Kobe. So I figured I'll spend the next little while just building this. I got a camera going. You can't see it on the webcam, but beside my webcam, I have another webcam or a bigger camera. And that's going to be doing a time lapse as well, so I can build this thing. Because I thought that'd be a fun little time lapse to do. Fun little Saturday thing for us to do without. So I'm going to build this, just hang out for a little bit. Yeah, just have a whale of a time. It's awkward. I got like so many screens going on, and I see myself in like 3 different places right now. I don't know where to look. But yeah, so we're just gonna chill out for a little bit. I hope everything sounds good and whatever. But yeah, we'll get it. Hello to everybody who's here in the chat. What's up? What's up? What's up? Evan, I love it, man. Great name, almost as good as mine. I often get confused for an Evan, especially in this country. They go, oh, Evan, Evan, Evan. Plus, I write my U's with a very sharp bottom, so often I make myself look like an Evan as well. One time I was called an Alan. My dad's handwriting on some sort of medical form was really bad. So it said Alan. It thought it said Alan, which wasn't. This is not my name. It's Euan. Anyway, let's get started with this thing. Let's open this Top Gun Maverick Kobe set and then get building with this thing. Make sure the box is visible. Hello, everybody. Full disclaimer, I've not actually seen this movie yet. I heard it's very good. But everyone says, you gotta see it, you gotta see it. And that just makes me not want to see things. Contrarian like that, I guess. Okay, that's exciting. Cool. Hello, everybody. Right, let's get started. Oh, some stickers there as well. Exciting. We'll keep that there. One bag there, bag 2 there, bag 1 there. It has been a while since I have made a, I don't want to use the brand name that it's not, a building block style model. I've not made one of these in a while, so it's exciting. Right, let's get started. Bag 1, and we're gonna start making this baby, the FA-18E Super Hornet, which is like technically a completely different plane than the Hornet, but still, it's one of those ones where it's different but the same, you know. It has like not that many. It's a weird one. It's one of the ones where it's like, damn, they couldn't have made a new plane. Instead, no. The Super Hornet is cool. We don't have one at the Airzo. We have the regular old Hornet. I think it's an A model, a really old school one. It's a marine plane. It's a pretty nice airplane. Okay, so we gotta build the base, I assume, of this thing. I gotta figure out which bag it is before I start just unleashing Armageddon on these things. These things aren't numbered, are they? No. Okay. I love a set where all the blocks look exactly the same. I think it could be this one. Oh, there's a blue one there. Okay, I think these are just all to be opened and assembled. How's the framework laptop? It's fine. It's works. We use them here at the Air Zoo for our work. It's a little bit loud. I don't know if you can hear that. The fan's going a bit crazy right now, but I enjoy it. I enjoy how you can just like pull things out of it and change like those USB like things. It's handy. It feels like kind of Inspector Gadget. It's kind of cool like that. But you know, right? We're gonna build this this thing. Need one of those. I need one of these. This is not going to be interesting if you're watching. This is more for the time lapse. The live stream is just to justify the time lapse and justify doing this on work time, so I get paid for this. Do you have any non-American planes at the Air Zoo? Yeah. Yeah, we do. That's all I'm going to say. No, yeah, we have some non-American planes. So, let's see. Off the top of my head, we have like... One of my favorite non-American planes we have in the collection is our Bouchon, the A-1112, I think. The Bouchon's really a really interesting plane. A lot of people look at it and they go, "Oh, that's a Messerschmitt. That's a Messerschmitt," which is not true at all. It's actually its own thing. If you don't know, like the Bouchon it looks like a Messerschmitt. It's like a one like the fuselage. Pretty much is the same as a 109. The engine in the front is a British Maryland, I think. So it's a weird amalgamation of these two enemies into one aircraft, but constructed by the Spanish. For the Spanish, they flew it, you know, post-war, mainly to terrorize their colonies. You know, you have colonies in Africa or whatever, and they don't need as much. They don't have anti-air. So you can, as long as you have an airplane, you win, you know, in terms of that. So they would fly the Bouchon, you know, this propeller plane, and terrorize that in the ground attack role. So that's kind of cool. It's one of my favorite non-American planes. Let's see, what else do we have that's non-American? We have some French plane that's outside. I forgot what that, a Bouchard or something like that. It's kind of like a scouting plane. And then I think that's kind of it. We don't have that many. Oh, we have the MiG-15, sorry. And a MiG-21. Yeah, MiG-15 is my favorite plane in this place. Can't believe I forgot it. But yeah, the MiG-15, obviously, not an American plane. The MiG-21, not an American plane, clearly. I'm sure there's others we have in the collection. Yeah, Sop with Camel, is that British? Yeah. The Spand, that's French. Okay, so we have a couple. Yeah, some non-American planes. Okay. What's your favorite jet at the Air Zoo? I just said it. It's got to, even though I forgot it, it's got to be the MiG 15. That MiG 15 is it's actually just across there in this building. The MiG 15, in my opinion, is one of the greatest jets ever made, from so many different standpoints. I think it looks great. I think it looks beautiful. I think the circumstances in which it came out of is incredibly interesting. I think, you know, you gotta hand it to the Soviet Union. The fact that you have this country that was kind of up until that point in a period of constant war between World War I and the Russian Revolution, then the Russian Civil War, then World War II, and then for them to kind of be the first one to kind of nail that jet fighter, for me is like, whoa, that's impressive. And also, you know, you have like the politics stuff on the back end of it, like the British supplying the engines that just immediately get copied. It's all very fun and interesting like that. I like that. Yeah, was the Bouchon not the one in the Battle of Britain? Yeah, exactly, yeah. So our Bouchon, it was one of the ones in the Battle of Britain. So after the war, or after the Bouchon was done, they obviously went into private hands. A whole bunch of them ended up basically flying for Hollywood in the Battle of Britain movie. And then they got brought, a lot of them got bought by whoever that stunt coordinator is or whatever, and then brought back across the States. And then sold off to a bunch of collectors. I can't recall exactly where we got our one from, but it was I was pretty sure that when we got it, we were kind of told not to fly it. At the time, we had a flying collection, and they pretty much said, "Do us a favor and do not fly this plane." It was just really just, I suppose it was just squirrely, you know. It just wanted to go everywhere but the right. It was just a hassle to fly. Right, I'm looking for one of these, but does this color matter? This is there's another one there. How is this already difficult? I'm on like step 2 and I'm already like not lost, just not prepared. I guess that's the best way. Okay, so one of those, 2 of these. Yes. Oh yeah, 2 of these. 1, 2, and then 1 of these. But I haven't got one of those. I'll use one of these. Let's see. What's your favorite World War II fighter? What's your favorite modern jet? World War II fighter. It's got to be the P-39. It's got to be the P-39. Has to be the P-39. Why the P-39? I hear you yelling at the screen. Why? Because it's perfect. It's so good. It's the most beautiful little machine you've ever seen. Incredibly darky, you know. Big cannon in the front. Engine in the middle. Scares the hell out of everybody who flies it. You know, people were flying these, like American pilots hated it. Couldn't grasp their head around it. Didn't like it. You give it to the Russians, who were flying at much lower altitudes. They couldn't get enough of it. They loved it. So they're a really interesting plane. Yeah. Okay, I'm already... Okay. I need to concentrate a little bit because I've gone completely stupid mode. Okay, that's correct. We have the first bit here. Bam. What's your favorite modern jet? Define modern. I guess modern would be like anything like past the Gulf War. Hey, thanks for the shout out from Poland. Hey, great guy, great job on this, Polish people. Kobe is a Polish company. I googled this beforehand. Great product so far, at least I think. We're 5 minutes in. I'm already confused. That's pretty good. Okay, right. Head in the game. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Need 1 of these. I need 2 of these. Okay, that's 3 of those. Oh, there's another one of that size. And 2 of those big boys. 2 big boys. If I need these in certain colors, I'm gonna be very peeved. But yeah, modern jet. Just a big like slamming noise. I would probably say this is a tough one. I kind of like the I like the Warthog. I know everyone likes the Warthog, but I like the Warthog. Just because like it's the most old school of these new jets. You know, it's not a fighter jet. It does like one roll really well. It's just kind of a tank. It's a slog. I like it. I think it's a neat little thing. I hope one day that theirs gets one. A Warthog is like up there for our what you would call like our wish list. You know, it's one thing we would really like in our collection is a Warthog. Luckily for us, the Air Force seemed really intent on trying to get rid of as many of them as possible, which works for us. Oh, I see what I've done. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, no, I'm not. Yeah. I don't know if you're familiar with this aircraft, but they clever man. A Heath Parasol. Yes, we are. We are very familiar with the Heath Parasol. I'm pretty sure we have one in our collection. Let me get an image of that thing. Heath Parasol. That's the. Is that the kit plane? No. Yes. Yes. Where's my Yeah. There we go. Heath Parasol. This thing. Yeah, we have one of these. Yes. Our one is on floats. It's just behind our Ford Trimotor. It's I believe it's, yeah, this is a kit plane, I think. Yeah. So yes, we are familiar with that. It's a really cool airplane. Really interesting airplane. Really simple, surprisingly simple. You know, one of these ones, you know, home built kit plane, early era home built kit plane as well. So it just scares me, you know, the idea of building that and then being like, yeah, this is how this flies. No, thank you. There we go. But this isn't right. I'm losing my mind today. If you had a chance, would you become a pilot? Yes, I would. No, obviously I can't have the chance now. I mean, I can just start learning. I'm around good people to do that. I just haven't. 1, 2, 3. I don't know. I it's weird. I always encourage, you know, when kids tell me, hey, you know, I want to be a pilot, I think that's the coolest thing in the world. I honestly believe that pretty much anyone could probably be a pilot. I don't think it's particularly, you know, I don't view it as something that would be particularly difficult. It would be difficult. It would be like a process. What is wrong with me today? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Why is nothing adding up in my head? There we go. That's got to be it. In the process of covering it. That's cool. Yeah, our one is really interesting at the Air Zoo, our Heath Parasol, because it's kind of like slightly covered already. We've got some of it that isn't, and some of it that is. So it's kind of, I like airplanes like that, especially the early ones, because you can really see the intricacies and the simplicity of airplanes. Really, you know, like surprisingly, it's not that difficult to grasp our head around these airplanes. We did it. Look at that. What plane would you fly during World War II or World War I? Well, I would not be flying in World War I. Let's be that. Those planes scare the hell out of me. The idea of flying like a Sop with Camel or something is insane. It's wild to me that people flew those, and not only flew them, but flew them in combat. There's just something crazy about that, you know. That airplane is just so scary. Or all those airplanes of that era, you know, the wood, the fabric coverings. It's just, whew, just no room for mistakes or sleeping. You know, it's up with Camel. You know, you turn the wrong way, it's not. You do a left turn, you do a right turn, and they're completely different. You know, the engine rotates. It's not just the propeller that's rotating; your whole engine's spinning. It's insane, insanely terrifying. And especially when you're talking about like, oh, this is, you know, this is aviation. This is new. We're still figuring this out. No. What World War? I'm just gonna open all these packs. I think. What World War II airplane would I fly? World War II airplane. I don't know. Everyone wants to be a fighter pilot. Because selfishly, and it makes sense. Selfishly, a fighter pilot is kind of what you want to be in war. Because you're in control of your own destiny. If you're, you know, in a bomber or something, you're like a whole bunch of guys that you're in charge of. whose lives rely on you. You know what I mean? And selfishly, I don't want to do that. So I'm looking for just a 4 square piece. Just a flat 4. There's so many of them, but they're all not the one I'm looking for. Not like this, not like that, it's 2. Not like that, not like that. Hey, what's up? Where's the accent from? It is the best. It is the best, and that accent is Scottish, folks. It is a Scottish accent. And if you ever write on my YouTube page that is an English accent, you will be banned. I'm not even joking. Yeah, it's a Scottish accent. If you don't know, I am Scottish American now. I became an American citizen earlier this year. Very happy to be on Team USA as well as Team UK, which is thrilling. So yeah, I moved to the States in about 2017, got married to my beautiful wife, and then I've been here in Kalamazoo since about then as well. Here at the Air Zoo since 2021, so we're all having fun. Good flight school recommendations. No idea. I'm not the one to help you out with that. 100% is, you know, get asking. From what I know is get out there now, start talking to people. Find out who the good general advice in general across all areas of your, you know, all areas is if somebody has a job that you want or you like the idea of, just talk to them and ask them, how are you doing that? Because often they are very happy to tell you how. So flight school, I don't know. Ask somebody, ask a pilot, ask somebody who has that role you want to do. Obviously, if you want to go in the military, that's one thing. If you want to, why am I confused? Oh, that's why. Yeah, if you want to do the military, obviously that route is completely different than the civilians. So yeah, go and pester somebody who's doing the thing you want to do. That's always a good idea. What is this supposed to look like when it's finished? Okay, it goes there. Boop. So we're just building, one assumes, the kind of base of the fuselage here for this Super Hornet. Top Gun Maverick, huh? Still not seen it. I heard it's very good. USA, USA. Hell yeah, brother. Greens from Scotland. If you were to think about one piece of tech from any plane in your collection that you find the coolest, what is it and why? Yeah, easy. Easy peasy. Easy peasy. It is the Wildcat's landing gear. Just, I don't know why. It amuses me or interests me so much. I don't know why. It just hits the spot in terms of, I think it's because I'm a simple man and it's very simple so I can understand it. And, you know, something like some things on the SR-71 I will never understand. And that's okay. Like, I will listen to people explain it to me and they can explain it to me 100 times and that's great. I can, some things I can still not wrap my head around. You know, I can't, aerodynamic stuff, I just doesn't stick. Doesn't stick. The Wildcat landing gear, oh baby, so simple. It just amuses me so much. You turn a handle, which turns a gear, which turns a chain, which turns another gear, which turns more gears, which turns more chains, which turns the gear, which brings up the landing gear. All manually operated, hand crank. Just you explain that today. You know, I did a video about it. I've done videos about it this week. Or last couple of weeks, just because it's been so, it's my jam. There's no other way to put it. It's just like, someone just hits, you know what I mean? Just hits you right in the head and you're like, yes, this is what I want. Like, this thing is interesting. For me, that is the Wildcat landing gear. That's for me, like, why the Wildcat is here and like the Hellcat's down here for me. It's like, Wildcat is just so cool. Hellcat is not as cool because it took the fun things about the Wildcat away. It's manually operated landing gear. It's manually operated wings. Because I think that they were hydraulic in the Wildcat. So, yeah. Let's see. When is there going to be new aircraft flying in? Yeah, so when's the next fly-in? So our next fly-in is going to be here at the Air Zoo on August 19th. Yes, so in 2 weeks. 2 weeks today. It's going to be the B-25 Rosie's Reply from our friends at Yankee Air Museum. Incredible airplane. Really incredible. Definitely come down. If you're in the local area, come in and check it out. It is so cool to see these bombers fly. I got a ride in Rosie's Reply a couple years back. I got to bomb my house. I flew over my house. I got to bomb it. I got to phone my wife and say, "You're dead. I bombed you. Do not be home when I'm home." It was so cool. It was incredible. So even if you don't come to like flying the airplane, because those rides are on the pricier end, definitely come and just check it out. Especially on August 19th. This building is going to be free admission as well. It's a National Aviation Day as well, so there's going to be like, we're going to have a whole bunch of Rosies here. There's going to be activities on our lawn. There's going to be airplanes flying around, or an airplane flying around. It's going to have tours and stuff like that. It's going to be a good time. Going to be a good time. Yeah, the C-47 is a lot of fun. The C-47 was the first warbird I ever flew in. That was the C-47. That's All Brother, which was the one that led the D-Day invasion. Really cool. I got to fly in it. It was kind of, I wouldn't say emotional. It seems taking it too far, but it was kind of nice flying in that plane. My great granddad, he jumped from a C-47 during World War II in Operation Market Garden, that delightful operation that the British did, and that's sarcasm. And he jumped, and I believe he broke his ankle when he landed, and then got caught. Shouldn't laugh. Got caught pretty soon after, and then he escaped. So don't worry, he escaped, and then he, I believe he spent most of the back end of that war just hanging out in various countrysides of Europe. Which is probably a wise thing to do if you manage to bust out of a POW camp. So that's cool. Yeah, exactly. The shockwave inlet. That's exactly what I'm talking about. Like the inlet cones on the SR-71 are fascinating, amazing. I kind of know how they work. You know, they move. They help move shockwaves around. But like, I don't know. Why do you think I've never done a video like gone in depth about them or about the SR-71? It's because I don't know how it works. It's just magic and pixie dust and stuff like that. We're also building a flying flea. What is a flying flea? Flying flea. Is that one of these? One of these? Okay. No joke. I will get a pilot's license if I could fly one of these. Look how sick that is. That guy's the coolest guy in the world. He knows it as well. Oh, that's so cool. Oh, with a radio on it. Those are super cute. Those are cool. I like those. They're French. They look French. What does that mean? It looks French. What does it mean? But it's true. It does. Like, you can just do that with planes sometimes. You can just look at the plane and be like, I know what country that's from. It's a weird thing. Like, I'm sorry, but like Swedish planes look Swedish. I don't know how to explain it. They just do. Okay, these are different. Oh, wow. Okay. You gotta be on your toes with this thing, huh? There's like 5,000 shapes that look exactly the same. And they're not. It's gonna get me into trouble. And I feel like I've already messed it up. So yeah. So what's everyone doing for this beautiful Saturday aside from on the computer watching a man build Kobe Hornets on a Has CB1? On a Has CB1. See, I thing I love about airplanes right now, I'm still kind of like learning. You know? Well, we're always learning, but every time somebody's like, French planes look like a prop from a Wes Anderson movie. I have never heard somebody be able to put something in words so beautifully. That is absolutely correct. Like, come on. Let me get something up. That is 100%. There we go. Let's get I needed like a Wes Anderson song. Here we go. Just some quirky guy and gal flying this across the country. I will watch that Wes Anderson movie. Somebody write the script now. It's about a quirky guy and a girl. They steal one of these planes and they fly across the USA in like the 1950s. That's a Wes Anderson film right there. I'm gonna write that. Dear Wes, please buy a flying flea for a movie. Okay, so we're moving along nicely. Will you be at the B-20? I will be at the B-25 flying. I'm looking forward to that. You can find me at most flyings. I usually go at least the first day. Usually I go to the first day of them. If you're here for 2 days, I'll be here for the Saturday usually. Even I've got to get out of this place occasionally. Right, so I'm going to add this little brown spots here. I'm sure it'll become evidently clear what those are in a minute. And then we're going to add these kind of big edges. The cool thing about the Hornet, the Super Hornet that I like is that hood. That hood is just is cool. I guess that's the easiest way to put it. Is that hood is it's really interesting. It's cool. I like it a lot. I like it. It has a ladder that swings down out of it, so you can get into the cockpit. And I've always wanted to go on R1 and do that, but the airplane is technically not ours, and I'd have to ask permission from the Marine Corps. I'm not gonna do that. Sorry, Marine Corps, but I'm not going to ask for permission to do that. But it's pretty cool, though. How much did the Lego set cost? Firstly, this is not a Lego set. How dare you? This is a Kobe set. This particular one, I don't have a price tag on this. Oh, I don't know. We sell it in our Flyby Museum gift store, and I think it might be online at airzustore.org. There it is. That was the URL. airzustore.org. Yeah, it's we're getting there. 35 minutes in, and I've only done that. I'm gonna have to text the wife and say I will be late home because I'm getting this done. There's no way my boss is gonna let me do this for 2 days. Right. I need one of these. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Ooh, Ooh, I just got a flight alert as well. I got my app just went beep beep. ADSB exchange. Let's see. Yeah, how did they do it? I don't actually know how they managed to do it in the cockpit, to be fair. Now, supposedly there was a Huey kicking around somewhere nearby. Not Huey, Black Hawk, but I don't see it on my flight tracker. Oh, there it is. Oh, there it is. Oh, it's miles away. I always have like a flight tracker up, and I like to see what's above me. I'm just one of those weirdos like that. I need to know. Love your vids. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. I do. It's much better than some of the comments I get, which say you're tired. Yeah, I'm tired. Damn. Don't worry. I've looked tired my entire life. Don't worry about it at all. I am getting more than enough sleep. Sorry, that's just a comment that I get occasionally. I need a flat 4. We have other sets as well in the store. There's a kind of really nice selection Kobe does, including like a MiG-15, which is pretty neat, in my opinion. Okay, I've not messed up already. There's a MiG-15. There's like a C-47 they do. There's all sorts of other ones. I think it was a German one. They do like a Spitfire or something. Yeah, what's your favorite jet plane? Yeah, so MiG-15 probably. Still, I've not changed that opinion since 20 minutes ago. I think, yeah, MiG-15 is the way to go. If I could make any aircraft airworthy experimental produced, what would I choose? If I could make any aircraft airworthy. That's a good one. I don't know. Like, from a selfish one, I kind of want to, like, if it was for, like, any reason, any need. Wait, I might mess this up already. Ugh, boy, oh boy. Sorry, I've confused myself, which is very easy to do. Surprisingly easy to do. What's the age on this? Is this, maybe I'm not old enough for this yet. Is this for like those in their 40s or something? Because I'm in my 30s and this is a brain. Why not the MiG-17? Why the MiG-15? Well, the MiG-15 because we have one, which means I get, whenever I go downstairs, I get to pass it, I get to touch it. Also, for me, I'm a history guy. I like history. So for me, the big deal, like I like the surroundings of that plane. I like the story of that plane, how that plane was, you know, made, essentially. I'm gonna take this bit off. Figure out what I'm doing. It's because I'm doing like 5 things at once. And not because I'm legally challenged. That's funny. That was a good fun. Yeah, that's right. No, that's not right. It should be a bigger one. Will the A10 build set be restored? I think so. I imagine. It might already be in store. Oh, that's the wrong. I used the wrong size one here. That's why. I think the A10 might be back in stock in person. I will ask about online on when I'm next in on Tuesday. We can get that sorted. Okay. Don't worry, folks. I'm a smart guy. I can just feel all of you watching this and going, oh my god, I listened to this guy on YouTube. You know, you're reassessing everything I've ever said on those videos. Here's the secret. I don't know any of this off by heart. It's all researched and scripted. And then I say it as if I knew it the whole time. And then it goes in, and then it goes out. And then maybe a couple of it sticks. It's just a constant process of learning new things, but things I kind of already knew. Right, there we go. Say sold out. Okay. Love the P38. P38 is great. Yeah, what would I restore? Yeah, what would I restore if I can make anything operationally airworthy? Just, yeah, selfish thing, SR-71. First things first. I want to see that thing fly a Mach 3 above my head. Preferably as low as possible. I don't even care of the destruction that would cause. I think it would be funny. If it was something else, I would like to see the XP-55 fly, because obviously we have the only remaining version of that. And that's always seemed like a pretty quirky and weird airplane I would like to see fly. Yeah, that would be kind of cool. Another one, obviously, anything that's on the extreme end, like the B-36. Like, I would love to see a B-36 fly. I would love to see a B-36 taxi. That would just be wow. I love to see a Vulcan fly, even though I know there's some that can, maybe. But every time I hear about a Vulcan in the news, it means one's just run off a runway or one's exploded on a taxiway or something like that. So I don't know if they're ever going to be really flying again. Yeah. What's my favorite? Yeah, we have the F-14 set. If you look on the back, bam! On the it's not actually there. If you look on the back of the instructions, bam! There we go. There's other sets. We carry all these sets in store at least. Oh, there we go. Sorry, I got 5 cameras going on. So we have the F-14 and the little Mustang as well, little P-51. I think that's Tom Cruise's actual P-51. I think that's like his baby flies, which is like all right for some. How do you have time to fly as well as doing all those movies, Tom? Doing like 10,000 Mission Impossible movies. I don't know. Didn't do that well in the box office by the looks of it. Got beat out by Oppenheimer, huh? What are we thinking of Oppenheimer in the chat? That film was sick. Big fan of Oppenheimer. I think there's a 22 set as well, or maybe a 35 set. They're supposed to have those weird... Okay, yeah. It's kind of weird, kind of like... Where's my thing? There it is. Kind of like pinches on the side there. You see that? It's not quite... But it's supposed to be like that. Yeah, some of the stuff isn't always on the website. Our website is... Our team focuses on the store first, then the website. So some things don't make it on the website. They will eventually. I'll bug our manager about that and make sure that all that stuff is updated. But I think there's like a C-47. There's other ones, which are pretty cool. You might be wondering, no Lego. Oh, if you're like a building block snob, you might be like, Kobe, Kobe. I don't want Polish Kobe. I want my Danish Lego. It's just blocks, buddy. Lego don't make things like this simply because these are technically weapons, and you know, Lego doesn't mess with that sort of stuff most of the time. They just do the fantasy things, you know. Harry Potter and Star Wars. Laser blasters. Oh, A-OK. Because they're not real, I guess. Yeah. It says 1-to-1, but I don't know what that means. So I added in those bits, and I gotta add in those little flat bits. Okay, here they are here. Oppenheimer, quite explosive. It was quite explosive, but here's the thing. It wasn't as explosive as I thought it would be. I enjoyed it. I thought it was really good. What I really enjoyed was afterwards, like, just Googling all those people who worked at Los Alamos and being like, oh, I know him from the movie, and then like you Google him and you're like, oh, who's that guy? Oh, he was a guy. Who's that guy playing the bongos? And then you look at it, and it's some guy who won like a Nobel Prize for something really smart. You realize how smart. You realize you were gonna win. See how smart those people were. Germans didn't have a chance. There was a what was it? Yeah, I read somewhere that after they did the nuclear bomb, they got the German scientists, because obviously by this time Germany had been pretty much, you know, it was August. Yeah, it was August 6th. Yeah, it was tomorrow, isn't it? The anniversary's tomorrow. They took the German scientists into a chateau, and then the British or the Americans or whatever, and then they secretly recorded their discussions, like their response to the news of the nuclear bomb, and yeah, they got beat. They got caught lacking, which is for the best. What time does a B-725 fly in? That's always an interesting question. It really varies. I wish I could give you a better answer. It'll come when it comes. I think the first flights are usually typically scheduled by 10 a.m. So I imagine by 10 a.m. it will be here. Although sometimes weather, delays, things happen. Sometimes they have to get gas. You know, it's an airplane. You know how it is. Okay, pause. What am I doing wrong here? Once again, your boy is confused. This is not going well. What's the ugliest plane you can think of? So there's like, obviously there's like heaps of stinkers pretty early on. Like, in my humble opinion, some of those early airplanes, like those early bombers and stuff, are just hideous. Like some of those early Italian stuff, you're like, you just keep adding wings on wings. Hey, more wings. It's like, oh, stop it. You're gonna hurt someone. But what is an ugly plane? You want the controversial answer? You want the answer that'll get your boy cancelled and his American passport revoked? I have an answer right here, but I might be too scared to say it out loud because it is perhaps one of the ugliest planes, at least in my opinion. But it is very beloved in this country. So I'll say it. It's called the F4 Phantom 2. That thing is ugly. I don't like it. I do not like the look of that plane. Doesn't mean it's a bad plane. Aesthetically, it's rough. But hey, it did its job. The last ME-262 night fighters here in a South African museum. Nice. Is the X-15 actually a plane? Yeah, oh, I don't like the air intake of the F-35. Yes, it was also when I went to the Battle Creek Air Show last year, that was one thing they told me I wasn't allowed to take photos of. Like they give you a briefing when you go to like when you go to like a media event involving the F-35, F-22, pretty much those planes. They give you a briefing of like what you can and can't show, because obviously some of it is national security. And they were like, no direct photos down the air intake. Okay. I was like, can I look down it? And they were like, yeah, sure. So I had a good look down it. I was like, trying to figure out what was going on. Just looked like a normal air intake. Is the X-15 actually a plane? I don't know if I'm the authority for that, but I would say no. It's has a kind of a rocket engine, so it's not air breathing. For me, that's kind of an important thing about an aeroplane, is an engine that involves air somehow. You know, so a jet engine or you know, radial or something uses air. X-15 doesn't, has just rocket. Also, can't take off on its own. It has to be dropped. I would class it as like a space. I would say it's a space vehicle. A rocket plane, I think, is probably the correct term. You can call it an aircraft, probably, but I mean, it's barely. The whole point of the X-15 was it was barely in the air. It was kind of where the air wasn't, if you get me. Really fascinating aircraft, the X-15. When I went to Dayton to look at it, a really thing I noticed, I wanted to do a video on it. I think it might be on my video. I have a video idea board. I sat there for probably over a year now. The inside, the cockpit of the X-15 has a slight green tinge to it. Slight green tinge. And it has bugged me so much. I'm like, why does it have that? What is the use of that? And my hypothesis is that it's very similar to the MiGs. With the MiGs, they painted them a really audacious green. But the idea is that green would calm down pilots. You know, it would that had a calming effect on the pilots. Whether that's true or not, I don't know. But I think it's a nice story. So I always felt that that slight tinge of green in the X-15 was a similar thing. Whether that's true or not, I mean, I can tell you it's probably not true. But I like that as like a hypothesis. It's at least what I thought when I saw it. Is that a TA-154 poster behind me? Which one? What have I got behind me? Yeah, I got a movie I've not seen. I got my YouTube button that I moved just for the live stream. The Grumman Cats. Beautiful Hellcat, our Hellcat. That is our SR-71. That is our SR-71. It's technically the Air Force's, and it's been signed by a whole bunch of my pilot friends from the SR-71. I got some propaganda posters I like up here. And then down here, I got a little Raiden from Koku Fan. And I've got a TA-152 down there from Koku Fan as well. And I got, you can't see it, I got a Mustang. That is like some sort of glider thing NASA was talking about for like a Saturn moon or something. It was pretty, wow. B-26. Does that mean the Wright Flyer was also not a plane? I don't know. I don't know what I said. I mean, no, because that engine used air. Like, used. I would say the Wright Flyer is definitely a plane. The first plane, of course. And don't we, in fact, there's a fun little Smithsonian fact. I think that's the only item in their collection that has like requirements on its interpretation. Like, part of the rules of having the right flyer means you have to display it saying it was definitely 100% for sure the first aeroplane. You can't even like hypothesize any alternatives to it, of which there may have been. I don't know. I'm not too versed in that very early first phase of flight. I'm not versed on any phases of history. Hey, what's up, Finland? Love the Finnish. Finnish are cool people. I don't know much about them, apart from Kimi Räikkönen, but Valtteri Bottas, that's it. Yeah. So we're still trucking along. We're making the like the flaps, the ailerons and stuff like that. I think we're making So we're making ailerons and flaps and control surfaces for this this Super Hornet. Real just boring name. Super Hornet. Just F grade for creativity on that front. I'm doing my scan. I'm like looking for a piece. I'm looking for one of these. Oh, there it is. What's my favorite World War II bomber? What's my favorite video game? So, my favorite video game right now. So a couple of weeks ago I was on a Fallout New Vegas kick again, but I kind of fell off that. I play a bit of Microsoft Flight Simulator on my Xbox. I have a little control stick, and I sit, and I'll get in like a citation, and I'll set myself up for an 1.5-hour flight, and then I'll take off, and I'll stick in autopilot, and then I'll fall asleep, and then I'll wake up, and then I'll land it. And it's kind of it's how I operate right now. So that's a lot of fun. World War II bomber. That's an interesting one. I don't really have I'm not a massive bomber guy. Like, they're fine. I like them, but my favorite one's probably got to be like the B-25. I think it was a pretty versatile plane. So I kind of like that one. I like our B-25 we have on display here at the Airzo. B-17 is nice and cool. I wish we don't have the space for one. It'd be nice if we had a 4-engine bomber in the collection. I've yet to see a B-24 fly. I would love to see one of those. Some of those British ones are really interesting. Like Lancaster just looks wild. And then things like the light one, like the 26, the B-26 is kind of a really interesting looking plane as well. Sup, Germany? When's the next open cockpit weekend? Yeah, that'll be in February, I believe. I'm looking around to see if I have a postcard from last year or this year. I think I think we host that in February. So, Airzo scheduling wise, it is. We're going to do panels off next month. Slash has already started this month. If you come to the Airzo, you'll notice some of the panels of our airplanes are already off and on the floor. That's for our panels off event. So that's basically, we take bits out of the airplane, take bits off the airplane. Why? Because it's really interesting to see what's underneath there. A lot of people, they don't understand how simple and how complicated airplanes are. They are both. They are like a paradox. It's pretty cool. I'm a big fan of it. Wait, why is this guy hanging out? I'm like a brick off, no? How? What's the most underrated jet, in my opinion? What cockpits will be open? I don't know about that. that decision is made much closer to the event. I imagine it'll be some of the old favorites. Can these go? This doesn't work. I need to concentrate a little bit. What's my most underrated jet? Well, that's the thing, is like, I feel like I'm not the best. I don't have a wide enough knowledge to be able to answer that in an appropriate way. If you get me. It's such a cop-out answer, but it's true. That doesn't match like that, though. What are you talking about? Oh boy. Uh-oh. Oh boy. Underrated. Yeah, I don't know. You stumped me there. Just like this Lego. Sorry. Kobe. I should have to do a shot every time. 1, 2, 3. Okay. That's correct. I've used the correct piece here. Yes. I used the correct piece there. Yes. Thin end here. Okay. That's not how it works. These instructions are throwing me off. It's funny, this is... Did you go to Air Venture this year? It was awesome. I did not go to Air Venture this year. I unfortunately didn't make it out, which is fine. Hoping to go next year. I went in 2021. Oh, I think I know what I've done wrong. I went in 2021, pretty soon after I started at the Air Zoo, and it was a blast. And I can only imagine I would have much more fun this time. We were there last in 2021. We were showing off. Yeah, we were showing off our SBD-1. In fact, not only were we showing it off, we were actually picking it up. Because that particular aircraft was coming from all the way from California. I think it was the Flying Leatherneck Museum in California. A Marine Aviation Museum doesn't exist anymore. They were closing. So we took on that the Navy asked us to take on that restoration. So we got that airplane. So it traveled from California to Wisconsin to Oshkosh. We met it in Oshkosh. And then we spent the week kind of just showing it off. Just giving it a good time, showing it off, saying like, hey, this is going to be our next project or whatever, which was kind of funny because it was like the only non-flying plane in Oshkosh that year. Everything else was, everything else you could jump in and fire up and fly around. We don't do that in our museum. But it was really nice just to talk to people about what we do, and why it's important to restore these airplanes. They did an aerial refueling flyby. That's cool. That's sick. They did it a whole bunch recently. They flew by Battle Creek. It was like the aerial, like the refuelers 100th anniversary or something. So they were flying across Michigan and a whole bunch of places doing like little flybys, which is cute. I've never been able to spot one of those tankers. They don't fly particularly close to Kalamazoo, but occasionally I get an alert that one's flying nearby, but I can never see one. I run out into my garden with binoculars and can never quite get it. One day I will. But yeah, I'd like to go back to Oshkosh. Maybe next year. I don't know, maybe I can see if I can get like a ride there. Somebody fly me there. Actually, no, I don't want to fly in there. That's scary. That place is mad. That is the one thing. Like I already, that's what I forgot to do. I forgot to add this piece. As like a non-flyer, the idea of flying into Oshkosh just gives me anxiety. It's just, ooh. Because when I was there, even I was like sitting there judging people's landings. Me, a civilian. But it was a lot of fun. Oshkosh is a lot of fun. The Kiefer on the Draken, yeah, those are cool planes. Like the Swedes are just. I know we got a Finnish person maybe watching, but the Swedes know how to. The Finnish know how to drive cars and stuff like that. I guess the Swedes know how to make interesting looking airplanes. Everything they have is just like what? Huh? Well, we made a Delta. Okay. Okay, so then we go to the big ones. Gotta put a whole bunch of these. Yeah, I'd love to go to Oshkosh, and if I do, then we will definitely, I'll try and meet up with a whole bunch of people. We can go have fun. That'll be a lot of fun. Yeah, Oshkosh was really eye-opening for me as well. You know, I'm somebody who isn't part of the aviation community in a traditional sense. At least I wasn't, you know, when I went to Oshkosh. So it was really eye-opening just to see the variety of like airplanes and the sheer, you know, just passion people have towards aviation and towards their own little section of aviation. You know, building all these incredible airplanes and the amount of just knowledge on offer. You know, you turn the corner and there's a new seminar or somebody talking or giving tips about this or that. It's a really kind of exciting environment to be in. Really enthusiastic people as well. A lot of fun. If an aircraft has parts replaced, what is done with the old parts? Yeah, so I don't know about that because so the Airs is no longer a flying museum. We used to be back in the day. Things just got a little bit too costly, you know how it goes. Insurance for aviation, let's just say, skyrocketed after a little date in September, and yeah, we at the Airs we decided that the cost wasn't really worth it, and also, I mean, you hate to say it, but like these planes are only getting older, and they become more and more difficult to maintain, to find pieces for, to find replacements. Just more and more problems can arise, and it just became the point where the museum decided it wasn't worth it for us, at least, to have a flying collection anymore. And a lot of people, you know, disagree and didn't like it or whatever, but the calculation in part was we would prefer to end the program on our terms rather than be forced to end that program because, you know, because of an accident. You know, we would hate to have a piece of our collection be no longer available to show to the public because we crashed at an air show, or we crashed it, or it got damaged just during a rehearsal, or just during normal maintenance or something. So there's that trade-off, you know. I probably should. I probably should do a lot of things better in this thing. But if an aircraft has parts replaced, what's done with the old parts? So like in our restoration, here's I can talk about our restoration though. So in our restoration center, every single piece, I'm talking about every single piece of airplane, original airplane that is, for example, our Wildcat. Okay, so our Wildcat came out of Lake Michigan like a crushed tin can. It basically, during carrier trainings, it landed on the ship, bounced off the ship, fell off the ship, got run over by the ship. The ship had a big paddle wheel, so it just crunched the smithereens out of that little airplane. So it came to us all crushed up like a little soda can. Because we're not restoring it to flight, it means we can still use a lot of that original material. We can still try and save as much as possible, which we do. So if we try and get a piece of metal, if we can straighten it out, make it work, that's, for us, is the preferable way to do it. Because this airplane's never going to fly, so it doesn't matter if that piece is no longer structurally sound or whatever. As long as it does the job of holding that piece together while it's on the ground and can handle those forces, then we'll absolutely keep that piece. But what happens is when we can't use that, so when we have to actually make a new piece, either out of the same material, so like out of aluminum or something, or out of something completely different like fiberglass or like plastic, like we 3D print stuff. What we do with those original pieces is those original pieces get kept, they get put in a big box, because the Navy requires us to keep all those things together. And then once we have that airplane complete, wherever it goes, so it's not going to stay here at the Airs, it's going to another museum, because we already have a Wildcat. That box will go with it, and in that box will be the scrap stuff we didn't use, and some of that is like whole units of like radios, or like a whole instrument, or a big bit of sheet metal, or sometimes it's just small bits of scrap. But because that scrap is, it's part of that original plane, we got to keep it, and we got to make sure it is kept with the plane. And will it have any future use? Probably not. Is it important to keep? Yes, that is part of the role of a museum. We got to, I hate to say it, we got to hoard some of the stuff, because out of anybody who hoards stuff, museums are the ones that are supposed to do it, and we're supposed to do it the best. So it's kind of fun. So we have these boxes, and you look in them, and it's just full of like scrap metal and stuff like that. And it's really interesting as well, because it's all pre-war metal, aluminum as well, which means technically it could be worth a pretty penny. It's got no radiation in it. It's not being irradiated. Unlike all that metal that was manufactured after it. So it's kind of pretty cool like that. Okay, here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Bada bing, bada boom. And that goes here. So we're starting to get a little bit of the airplane together now. Are we keeping the SBD? So we're keeping the SBD -3. That's ours. Well, ours. I always have to be careful. It's not like the Navy will phone me up and give. To be fair, they might. But it's not like the Navy is going to phone me up and say, "Hey, that's technically not your plane. You shouldn't say ours." But the -3 we'll be keeping, I think. The -1 that we're restoring doesn't have a home yet, that I'm aware of. But that process isn't up to us. We don't have that much of a say. Those are naval aircraft owned by the Navy, will always be owned by the Navy, and ultimately the Navy decides where it goes. I'm sure we could voice an opinion, and they might just smile and nod and be like, "Sure thing, buddy." But we don't actually get a say where it goes, which is fine. It's not our job. We'll restore it, and we're just happy to get it out, and preferably to another museum that is doing great work, and that our volunteers' hard work on that restoration project is paid off with hopefully equally hard work on the receiving museum for telling that aircraft story. Another real cool thing as well is us at the Airs, we are part of that airplane story now. Without us that airplane wouldn't be in the state it is in. It would be a crushed soda can still. So we're really honored to be part of not just restoring history, but part of history as well. Sounds kind of big-headed. I don't know, I'm missing a little piece. It sounds a little bit big-headed, but I don't care. It's true. Like, for me personally, like one of the coolest things we do at the Air Zoo is like just our restoration center and the ability for anyone, kids, people on a school trip, people from out of town just visiting an air museum, but we have that opportunity for people to kind of get hands-on a little bit if they want to with the restoration, with what we do here. And that's awesome. Yay, I found it. Right. We're starting to get... It's starting to look like an airplane, and I'm starting to not lose my mind as much. Right. I feel like I need to watch this movie now. You have to see it. You have to see it. We'll see. What other good airplane music? What are better airplane movies than Top Gun? There's a question for chat. What is a better movie than airplane movie than Top Gun? Oh, sorry, Robert. Yeah, I've had more and more. So I have had more and more people ask about me, if they can meet me, stuff like that. Which I am, by the way, extremely flattered and extremely weirded out by. No offense. It's just wild to me that people want to meet me. I'm not particularly interested in person, but I love it nonetheless. But we are working on something. We're working on something. So if you come to the museum and you wish to meet me, and I'm probably not available because I actually do have this is a job. We're working on something where you get a little something. I'm gonna leave it at that because it's too good. It's stupid. It's stupid, but yeah. Do I like the F-86? That's the Sabre, no? That's the Sabre? Am I being stupid? F-86. Oh, yeah, the Sabre. Yeah, the Sabre's neat. Pew! Yeah, I like the Sabre. I think the Sabre is really cool. I just don't... I don't rate it as highly as some other people do. I am... It's weird. Like, I don't rate numbers very highly when it comes to aircraft or when it comes to like evaluating airplanes. Like if you tell me, oh, this had X amount of victories and X amount of this and X amount of that, I don't really care. For me, that doesn't tell me a lot about the airplane, like, or the success of the airplane and stuff like that. And the F-86 can get in those terms when people talk about it. They always talk about it in terms of relating it to the MiG-15, but it's like, why? I get it, but like, it's its own thing. Like, they can both be fine and very good without comparing them, having to compare them against. It's not always a competition. Yes, so Robert, hopefully, we're hopefully coming up with a system where if you did that, you'll be rewarded for that question. And let me just leave it at that. When we get it up and going, I'll do a video about it. But hopefully, the plan is if you come to the Air Zoo and you say, "Hey, I want to meet you with the Air Zoo," you won't leave completely disappointed, because my schedule is is varied and often busy. So I don't have the opportunity to meet everybody who asks to see me. Honestly, the best way, if you want to come meet me in person, is to attend an Air Zoo event, like a fly-in, because chances are I'll be there working one. So come come meet me at a fly-in, or where else am I usually? Or donate a large amount of money to the Air Zoo and ask to meet me, and I'll do that. Like, no joke. Like, if you donate, like, email development@airzoo.org, ask them how much it costs for a tour with you, and they'll be able to hook you up. Maybe, if you pay. Hate to say it, but we're a non-profit. Gotta make money somehow. Not that I see any of it. Right. So now we're doing these little side bits with this little paint job, which honestly I don't like. I don't like the paint job in this plane. I don't like the blue. It's the wrong shade. Yes, but definitely thank you I really appreciate you visiting it. What was your favorite part of the Air Zoo? Do let me know. Robert, if you're still there. So I think honestly, like, they're my employer, obviously. I'm on their stream doing this, obviously, so I can't disparage the Air Zoo, but we do good work here. And we're definitely up there in terms of oh, I forgot. I'm so bad at reading instructions. I'm just like blasting ahead without actually finishing each step. But we do great work here, man. And I really appreciate you coming and checking us out. Right. I think I'm feeling pretty confident about this build now. I'm not as loopy as I was at the start. I've got the rhythm. What do I think of the XB7A Valkyrie? Yeah, so I have an XB7A patch on my on one of my costumes, on my restoration coveralls that I wear if I need to climb inside a plane. That thing is just insane. Like, I like it, but at the same time, I'm so happy we live in a world where we don't need it, or it didn't go further than it did. It's like, it's too big. 6 of those massive engines. The thing's huge. It's massive. Like, it's insane. Like, yeah, I don't rate it personally. It's a little bit, And then of course one of them killed Joe Walker, which, sad, because he was a cool guy. So yeah, it's a weird plane. The weird one. But it's fun. It's like got that really interesting section of time in aviation history where, like, just so much stuff was getting thrown out the wall to see what sticks. No one had a clue what was going on. People were saying we need supersonic, we need transonic. People were saying we need altitude. People say we need to be low to the ground. Like, just the mission profile for that airplane, or for airplanes of that time, were just all over the place. Makes it so interesting. I've never really studied it super hard, but it's a wild looking thing. 809 miles away from where I'm at. Okay, so just all I'm hearing is excuses. Nah, yeah, no, definitely come check us out if you're ever in the area. No worries if not. That's why we do that's why we do the YouTube stuff. That's why we do the digital stuff. 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, that's why we do the YouTube stuff and that, because obviously not everybody can come to the air zoo. You know, the world is a big place. Travel is often expensive or inaccessible for most people. And we do great work, and we do too good of a work here for us not to share it with the wider world. Which is why, you know, we do our YouTube channel, and we share the knowledge to as many people as possible, because that's what we're about. We want to share this history, share this knowledge about aviation and science and stuff with as many people as possible, not just people in Kalamazoo. So yeah. What's your opinion on the P-47? Man, I love the P-47. I love it. Probably my second favorite after the 39. Yeah, it's everything a fighter, or at least a World War II fighter, should have been. You know, it was big, it was mean looking. You could literally fly it into like trees and walk away. You know, the fact that it was common practice, you just write that puppy down. You get in trouble with it, don't worry about it. Just write it down. You're safer writing it down than you are bailing out, because the thing was a tank. And out of all the airplanes that have like names that are sequels to them, you know, like the Phantom 2, the Lightning 2, the Thunderbolt 2, the Warthog, the A-10. That is the one that is the best like sequel, the best namesake, the best junior, you know, there is, because that airplane, the A-10 is like, in my opinion, the exact thing, like the exact modern equivalent to the P-47. You know, just big fighter, but like could fight, but really known for just getting down on the deck and just. We have some videos on our YouTube page from our collection, and just it would just, you know, its real danger was its ability just to strike targets of opportunity. So flying around looking for some poor train, and then just going to go and just deciding, hey, I've not been ordered to do this, but I'm going to do it anyway, and just, you know, destroying a whole train, or deciding to go and just start strafing barns in the German countryside or whatever to see if anything explodes. Really important aircraft, in my opinion. You know, like if you have something like that and you have the free reign to go out and do something like that during, especially World War II, I mean, that's a winner right there. This thing. It's not. That thing is a TA-152C, which is different. I don't get too much into German airplanes, honestly. I'm weirded out by people who are. I give them this look, and they go, "Oh, I'm super into German planes." Yeah, okay. I'm not. They were shooting my granny's washing. I take that personally. That is like my go-to story. My obviously I'm Scottish, so during the war, World War II, my family, where we are on the East Coast, they were not often, but you know, you get the occasional German cheeky plane who is, you know, trying to start something, going strafing the town, bomb runs of the local airbase or whatever, and the point where my great granny, got really upset with the war was when the Germans had the absolutely audacity to shoot her brand new sheets. She managed to acquire some new sheets, some new bed linens, some terrible German shot holes in them when they were out to dry in the wash. And I don't think she ever forgave them for that. That for her, that was the that was the line. That was the I will not forgive, I will not forget. She gotta appreciate, you know. The other stuff, I guess she was, I'm not gonna say she was fine with it, but she just didn't hear about or didn't have a strong opinion. But the washing, oh boy, I wouldn't mess with her either. How effective was the F4 Phantom 2? I don't know. There's people who have written books about that. That's the thing, like, define effectiveness. Like, you talking about like how deadly it was against like its opposition fighters, like the MiG-21 or whatever. It was fine. I don't like that plane, so I don't read about it a lot, because it doesn't really interest me. I don't like it. It's just a straight up fact. Nothing personal, just it's ugly and I don't like it. This tornado, IDS tornado. Oh, the tornado, the European tornado, the Pavad. I don't know how to say that. I'm not gonna say it. Yeah, that's a cool plane. Saw one in Dayton, Ohio. They have one at the Air Force Museum there. I'm looking for one with a straight edge. It's a nice airplane. I like it. I was a fan of it, you know, as a kid, you know, as a British kid. So the tornado, you know, this was before the Eurofighter, so I remember the tornado was kind of their the RAF's, one of the RAF's go-to, like, I don't know what the correct term would be, but propaganda planes, you know. They're public relation plane, I guess, is a better term to put it. Okay, why did I put that there? That's not because they're tall. So yeah, the tornado's cool. I like anything with a swing wing. You know, I like the MiG-23. Anything with a swing wing is kind of cool with me. Just because I'm a simple man, and the idea of, you know, an airplane moving, like bits of wings of an airplane moving as you fly is like this is so cool. It's just very, very, very cool. Okay, so we're still making this. I think this is the tail end of it. I think I've done that bit there. Everyone's just asking me, what's your opinion on this plane? What's your opinion on that plane? I don't have, if you're looking for hot takes, I don't have them. What's on the B-17G? Mate, the G? The G, I think, that's the one with like the, that was like the definitive version. You know, the one with the chin turrets and the two guns in the front and the back and two on the top and two in the back. So, yeah, it's fine. I flew in Yankee Lady, the one that's visiting us at the Air Zoo here in September. I flew Yankee Lady, and that was a lot of fun. Really cool airplane. I would love a B-17 here at the Air Zoo, but we don't have space for it. It's just big airplanes. It's like, how do you even get one nowadays? Right. We're slowly assembling this thing. The Tiger Moth. The Tiger Moth's kind of cool. I was like that. Let's get this up. The Tiger Moth. I'm just getting photos of a moth now. Plane. There we go. So everyone knows what we're talking about. Yeah, Tiger Moth is cool. I like it. I like it because, and this is, I like airplanes for very different reasons and dumb reasons. I like it because I like the chipmunk. I like the chipmunk And this looks like a chipmunk because it's the same company pretty much. Oh, there he is, Churchill, big Churchill. He's like, I am so confused. Oh, there's one on skis. That's cool. Yeah, this would be a nice one for our collection, to be fair. Especially a nice yellow one. Put it in the trainer wing. Yeah. I was about to say, that looks Thai, but it's written down there, so that's not impressive. What other aviation museums have I visited? So I've got to visit so many more, because I've only got into the aviation museum biz like 2 years, 2.5 years, less than that. So I've got a lot of visiting to do on a lot of museums. Obviously, I've been to Dayton, Ohio, for the National Museum of the United States Air Force. I'm hoping to get down to Pensacola at some point, visit our friends at the National Naval Aviation Museum. We work obviously very closely with both those museums. We have nice relationships with both. Very nice people. If they're watching, hello. Send us more planes, please. Hoping to go to more. I would love to go to Seattle, check out Museum of Flight. They do great stuff out there. I'd love to get up to the Evergreen Museum. See the spruce goose. I'd like to go to Duxford. Go check that out. I want to go to the Tank Museum. That's not aviation, but I'll go to the Tank Museum. See my man Fam the Tank Man. He runs a great TikTok out there. And obviously the Smithsonian. I actually had an opportunity to go to the Smithsonian last year before they opened again. I actually managed to get like an invite to like a preview day or something, but I wasn't able to make it work with my schedule. Like, yeah, it was a whole thing, but I couldn't get there, which was a shame. But there will be other opportunities, one hopes. Oh, that's why I was confused. There we go. Do you like the F-16? I don't have a strong opinion on the F-16, and I find it confusing how you can have a strong opinion on the F-16. It's just it's fine. It's okay. That's all I have to say on the F-16. It's fine. I would like to have one, obviously. We don't have one here at the Air Zoo. So if we could get one, that would be sweet. My understanding is there are some maybe available, but obviously the process to get one is a thing. Why is this not working? What am I doing that is confusing me so much? Okay, so I need this one. This piece goes here. You've been thinning. Yeah, the Pensacola is great. Like, I've heard it's great. Unfortunately, they shut down for a while. They had a double whammy of just bad stuff happen. They had obviously COVID, which everyone was dealing with. But on top of that, then they had the unfortunateness of there being a mass shooting at Pensacola. Not at the museum, but at the on the base, and that had the unfortunate consequence of kind of shutting down the museum for a while. So even after everything was opened up from COVID, they were still shut down for a while. They only just opened a couple months ago. So it was great to see them open again and be able to, tell their stories again, get everything up and running. Very happy for them. Looking forward to visiting them. Even though I could have visited any time because I know people in high places. By know, I mean I know of them. They know of me. Don't want to make it sound like I'm hobnobbing with admirals or anything like that. No way. Right, we're still chugging along with this little Super Hornet here. Super Hornet, just one of these airplanes. It's fine, it's nice, it's good. Would have been nice if they made a different one rather than just changing the Hornet, but you know how it goes. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. I mean, that's why the F-16 is like still around and still like being made. You know, they're on like, I don't know how many variants of the F-16 there are now, but there is a lot of them. Okay. I don't know, like Block 70 or something. What's my favorite tank? I have no. I don't know. I don't do with tanks. Tanks. You know how some things just hit your brain? They light up those like receptors in your brain, and you're like, I like this. Tanks just don't do that to me. I don't know. It's weird because obviously airplanes have a similar thing, but the idea of like being in a tank, rumbling along, being fired upon doesn't sound appealing. I would much rather be in the sky being fired upon, stuck. I don't know why. It just neither seems appealing. That's the wrong word. They're just, it seems like a better option for me. I don't know. But I definitely, I would like to see the tank museum. Maybe so I can learn more and get inspired, you know? Maybe I don't know enough. That might be it there. Maybe I'm a tank man. I just don't know it. It's just terrifying. He's a tank man and he doesn't know it. Right, we are still chugging along, but we're making progress. And thank you for everybody who's just hanging out. I know it's not I didn't have anything planned. I just want to make this. But the fact that some people are hanging around, asking questions, having discussions, it's fun. I like to do more live things in the future. I have this great idea. This is the one thing I want to do for 100K, which I did in April, but I want to do a live stream 100K celebration. This is the plan. And you can tell me in chat if you think this is a good idea or not. So the plan would be to take this to the collection, the live stream, go in the collection, and do like a roulette thing, where, because I want it. Obviously, we're a museum, so we gotta turn it into a little fundraiser. You do a super chat or whatever, spend a little bit of cash, and you get to like spin a wheel or something, and it'll be like a random shelf, a random area, a random drawer in our vast collection, and then it's just like a randomized tour like that. I don't know if that would be good or not, but it's an idea that it's been in my head for like 6 months, and I kind of want to do it. It'd be fun, like a unscripted adventure through our collection. Because if you don't know, we have it like most of the stuff we have in the Air Zoo's collection, as in the stuff we own or whatever. It's not on public display. Like this is the secret about museums, is most of our stuff isn't out on the floor. Now you might be wondering why. Well, because we have so much stuff, and when you put things on the floor, that's not really preserving it, that's displaying it. And what we do is, or hypothetically, what museums are supposed to do is, you know, we're supposed to every now and then rotate the collection. So take items out from display and put them in the collection under a low light for them to just rest, like for them to not be under the harsh lights or anything like that, and for them just to chill out, so they don't so that item doesn't degrade as much. So we have so much interesting stuff back in the collection that some of it has never been out. You know, like some of it is just like small knick-knack stuff that doesn't really fit into an exhibit or anything that we'll do. You're like small trinkets soldiers would have, or we have like trench art from like Guadalcanal. We have a whole bunch of stuff that maybe was on the floor for like 20 years ago but hasn't been on the floor since. Guns and airplane parts and helmets and almost every uniform you could ever imagine of. And I want to show it, but there's so much of it to show. It's like, how do you do that? So my thought was, well, why don't we like do like an online roulette thing? You pay $2, you get to spin the wheel, and maybe that lands on like a shelf that you get to pick from, or a specific drawer, or like an area or something like that. Because there's so much stuff we have. Like I saw somebody ask earlier, like, hey, is that gun we have on display real? Probably. We have a lot more real guns in our collection. Some real interesting ones as well. I'm gonna work on some videos for them, because we have and I'm not a gun guy, so don't come at me if I say anything wrong or whatever. I don't care if I'm wrong. I'm sorry. Just don't get mad at me. But like, there's we have like really interesting Japanese guns, which are fascinating because with those you can actually see the decline of craftsmanship and, you know, all that stuff, which is really fascinating. You know, seeing how like a specific weapon, as the war progresses, gets less and less refined in its manufacturing, and you start seeing the degradation of that manufacturing process. You know, like, first, the decremental features are gone, and secondly, this feature's gone, and the gun sight's been simplified, and this has been simplified. And by the end of the war, you've got this gun that is like pretty much completely different than what was issued at the start. For me, that's really interesting, because that kind of shows the big thing about World War II, which is, you know, the logistic war. You know, if you were to ask me, here's a question: if you were to ask me, hey Euan, what's the most important airplane in the Second World War or whatever, it's not the P-51, it's not the P-47, it's not the P-38. Of course not. It's the C-47. It's a big transport plane. Like, that's the most important thing. If you ask what's the most important plane of any war, it's not the fun ones. It's the ones that haul the fuel and stuff for the other ones to make it happen. The one that hauls the troops to make things happen. The one that carries the pilots and the crewmen and all that sort of stuff. It's like when you go see the Thunderbird. If you ever go watch the Thunderbirds land at an airport, you know, ahead of a show, I wasn't impressed by the F-16s coming to land. I was impressed by the C-17 landing behind it, and then the clown car of just folks just streaming out of it. It was awesome. Oh. I fouled this up. Weirdest plane on display, in your opinion? Weirdest plane on display in our museum, in my opinion? Probably XP-50. I mean, XP-50 is not a particularly weird plane by our standards, but you can certainly see at the time that thing was pretty far out. You know, just very strange to look at. One could argue, like, I think technically it was pretty good. Like, sure, like there was 3 built, 2 crashed, but like, I want to say, I don't want to say they were like ahead of their time, because that's like a kind of a weird thing to be able to say, but like it was certainly on the right track. It's just a very, very weird like airplane. My opinion, I always wanted to put the our very easy beside the XP55 as a, hey, like this looks weird, but it was part of like they were on the right track with something, or they weren't completely out of it. Like this was actually like a concept that eventually could work, maybe just not for World War II in the military. That's probably the weirdest plane we have on display, the XP55. I'm trying to think what else could be classified as like weird. I don't know. I think this is for the under fuselage, as my friend Doc would say. Yeah, so if you haven't already, you know, a lot of people, or not a lot of people, but it surprises me when people are like, hey, wait, the Airs is a real place? Or, hey, wait, you guys are a museum? It's like, yeah, we're an actual museum. We exist. Come check us out. Beautiful Kalamazoo, Michigan. Yes, that place exists. Well, technically, we're in Portage, Michigan, but, you know, you say that and no one has a clue where you are. What's the coolest plane on your display in your opinion? Coolest. Probably, I mean, it's got to be the SR. Like, I would say the SR is cooler than the Nighthawk. That's just a fact, in my opinion. Yeah, especially R1. You know, I hate to toot the horn too much, but R1 is the SR-71B, which is the only remaining B model in the world. The other one, you know, through the entirety of the SR-71 program, our SR-71 was the trainer. There was the second one that was built at the same time. It crashed, I believe, in the 6 days. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. It crashed in the 6 days. They built another one, the C model, but that wasn't nearly as good as the B model. The C model, it didn't work. They called it the bastard, because it was a Frankenstein between like a whole bunch of just stuff. Someone just asked, did my brick make it to your office? Yes, I have yet to do my video. You might be wondering, what is he talking about bricks for? I actually have the script written, I've just not filmed it. Yeah! There we go. Big shout out. We do these bricks. We have a memorial plaza out the front of the Air Zoo where people pay for bricks with typically the names of loved ones, living or deceased, that get put in our plaza to, you know, as our supporters for the Air Zoo. We felt this one, however, was the most polite way, didn't fit the vibes. It would feel weird having that next to somebody who might have been, you know, deceased. So I still have to film that video. I will film a video. I just haven't yet. But yes, this is proudly on the front of my desk. It's the first thing people see when they walk in. If you want, if somebody wants to donate another brick, if you donate a silly one, I get to keep it. And I like to build a wall in my office. And if I get enough, eventually that wall can turn into a tomb, and I will happily bury myself in it like a pharaoh. So keep the donations coming in. There's the keystone to not the keystone, but the first stone, the foundation for my inevitable meme-based tomb, which I'm looking forward to. Okay, they flipped it over. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. We did that. We can count to 10, which is honestly for today, that's pretty good. Oh no. I did that wrong. I really appreciate the brick. Yeah, it gives me a grin every time I see it. But I also have to roll my eye. I also have to explain it a lot, which isn't less fun. What does the brick mean? Well, there's this old Air Force video about a missile, and it says some funny things. And then basically, somebody made a meme out of it to make it say rude things. Then I did a parody video about the rude thing with the missile, and then somebody made a brick about it, and now the brick is in my office. It's a whole story to tell. So I'm not thankful for that. But it's when people get it, they're like, hell yeah. So all that hard work I did, I'm gonna redo because I did it the wrong way. Yeah. Okay, so I have this piece here. So what did I do wrong? Because I wasn't paying attention. That goes like that. That had to like, and then. Okay, I see what I did wrong. I put these pieces on wrongly. Okay, I did this whole bit wrong. What a day. I hope my boss isn't watching. She's gonna be like, "Hey, you have a busy Saturday?" Oh, absolutely. Yeah, it was packed. Oh, it was a great day. What'd you get up to? Oh, you know me, just working hard, boss. Working hard at the old aircraft history factory. What'd you do specifically? Built a block airplane. Yeah. What else did you do? Live streamed it. Yeah. Pretty sweet deal. Right. I'm gonna disassemble this and rebuild this real quick because I am a class. See, it's things like this when somebody earlier messaged me and said, you know, hey, if the opportunity arose, would you ever become a pilot? It's moments like these. I'm like, no, I can't build a plane. I keep joking about with my wife about buying a ultralight. Since those don't need licenses. She's not a fan of that one. Not a fan of that. So I won't be getting one of those, unfortunately. Right. We're going to start this under bit again, or this top bit, I don't know. But we're going to do it actually properly. So we need 3 more of those, and then 2 of those. Do we have the extra stiletto? No, we don't have the extra stiletto. I swear they only made one of those. And I think it's, well, I think they made one of those. But one of them is in the Air Force Museum in Dayton, Ohio. It is sharp looking. It is fast looking. And that thing was not fast. Yeah, it's a really cool looking airplane. That, by all accounts, was... Yeah, it was bad. was underpowered, so I don't think it even broke the speed of sound. But it's a really nice, sharp-looking airplane. The X3 Stiletto. I just had. Sorry, I just remembered it. This idea I had a couple weeks ago for a video, or not for a video, for a live stream idea. You know how everyone was doing the TikTok NPCs? Oh, gang gang, you know, that sort of stuff. I was so tempted to jump in my flight suit and sit in like a World War II airplane and do like a World War II NPC thing. But then I decided that's too embarrassing to do, to earn no money and then having to explain to my boss what I was doing. So I decided against it, which is the coward's way, unfortunately. Ice cream's so good. Airplane's so fun. I want to do it, so like you send me like a rose or whatever, and I'm like, a rose for my sweetheart back home. Just like in the cockpit of like the Corsair or something, you send like a donut or something. I'm like, I'm going down. I've been shot. I've been going down. I don't know. I saw somebody do one of those TikTok NPCs. It was a funny one. It was like she was pretending to be a Victorian child. You know? So, flowers. Oh, it smells so nice. And she would be like coughing, stuff like that. It's a lot of fun. Okay, so I've remade this bit, and then I'm gonna flip it over the right way this time. Okay. And then with confidence and speed, we are going to rebuild this bit and get back on track. Because ice cream is so good. Okay, there we go. So I asked this question earlier, but I don't think I got any response. Someone give me aviation films that are better than Top Gun. I know Top Gun isn't the best one. I just know it in my heart. Oh, and by the way, original Top Gun, here's another question as well, in which I already know the answer to. But, original Top Gun, okay? Which airplane is the actual star of that movie? There's your question for the original Top Gun. I'll move this guy up here. There we go. What was the... See, in my opinion, everyone's going to say, oh, you know, the star of Top Gun, you know, everyone goes, the star of Top Gun. Bill's Tom Cruise, but it's the F-14 Tomcat. Nah, my opinion, the real star of the original Top Gun is the A4. The A4 Skyhawk. That thing moves. That thing is so cool in that movie. Are you kidding me? That little Skyhawk is just so awesome. Tearing up those Tomcats in those training. So good. You know how many people die in that movie in the Skyhawk? None! Because it's a great airplane. I love the Skyhawk. Skyhawk is one of my faves. Skyhawk, baby. Skyhawk and Sky Raider. I love the Sky Raider. I'm writing a huge video on the Sky Raider right now. Like, probably the biggest one I've ever done. My opinion is probably going to be either in multiple parts or one big... Yeah, no, the F-16 sexier, I get that. Or the F-14 sexier, I understand that. Like, I understand why, like, the F-14, like, what came out of that movie is like the airplane, like even today, like it is the airplane. Um, but they were so good in that film. I hadn't watched it in years, and I watched it, and I was like, oh, it was like Roblox. But yeah, I'm doing a massive video on the Sky Raider. I love that plane. So it's I'm writing it. I was writing it today. It's like 6,000, 7,000 words long so far. It's probably going to be like either in five parts, X amount of parts. I don't know how long for sure, or as one big chunk. Let me know what would you. Here's the thing: if I was to do like a big video about the Sky Raider, would you prefer that to be in small multiple chunks, like 10 minutes episodes, or like an hour long video? Like, would you prefer watching like 5 or 6 small 10-minute videos about different aspects of the Sky Raider, or would you just want to sit down and learn about the Sky Raider for like an hour and a half? Because that's probably the biggest question I'm going to be asked about soon. Because the Sky Raider is, in my opinion, Sky Raider is one of the greatest airplanes in the American service ever. Ever. That thing is just blows my mind. Hour long video, yeah. I want to do the big one. I want to do a big one. I agree with the hour. That's what my preference is. I just gotta convince the boss. 'Cause 5 small videos make sense, or like smaller videos make sense, because you know not everyone wants to sit for an hour. But I kind of just want to make something really long. That way, you know, when you watch it, you get everything at once. So it all links together. And I'm super excited about that video. I'm working on a bunch of longer stuff. This one I want to do more of. And luckily, the Airzo seems to not be against that. I want to do a real big deep. I want to do a multi-part series or a long video on the V2 program too. Been on a massive V2 kick right now, which is, you know, depressing. The more you learn about the V2, the more depressed I get. It's not a particularly fun aircraft to learn about. Simply, or not aircraft, but you know, rocket. For the simple fact that, you know, guess who built it? It's the Nazis. And guess what happened to them? They all got rewarded for it. Disgrace. Anyway, that's another time. Does the Airzo have a Zeppelin? No, we have a model of like a little Zeppelin in the break room in the Flight Discovery Center. We don't have one. Be cool, or to have a piece of one or something, in my opinion. But no, we might have a bit of one like in the collection. We might have like some skin of something, but not that I've seen. Zeppelins those are fascinating though. Like those hangars are just huge. Okay, so we've made this part, and that goes on here. Okay. Nice. Okay, so this links in here. We're getting here. Look at that. That almost looks like an airplane. Right, I gotta hustle and get this thing finished because I just realized the time and I gotta go at 5-ish. Right, we're hustling. We're not gonna get this finished today. We might have to come back again another day, which is fine. Right, we're having too much fun, folks. Too much fun. But I want to do more live stuff, hopefully, in the future. I enjoy it, even if I have nothing planned. But yeah, we got heaps of stuff going on at the Air Zoo in the next couple of months or so. We've got an adult space camp happening next week, next Saturday, actually. So that's going to be a lot of fun. So if you are 21 plus and you want to have a good time, come to the Air Zoo next week for our adult space camp. And then, yeah. We have fly-ins, obviously, on the 19th and September 23rd, I believe. That's when the B-17 is going to be in town. And then we have some other events as well. Like, we have a Rivet with Rosie event, which I'm super excited for. And then we also have an event called Naughty Nose Art, and that's my event. We're going to be presenting about... I'm going to be presenting a little program about nose art in World War II, specifically, well, talking about pin-up in World War II, and then there's going to be hands-on painting. It's going to be painting, you know, people are going to be able to paint on aluminum as well, paint their own nose art, which is going to be a lot of fun. So definitely check those out. And then obviously in September we have our, as mentioned before, we have the open panels off. And then in February we'll have open cockpits, which is always fun. What's my favorite plane? Gotta be the MiG-15. Gotta be the MiG-15. I think anyone who knows me in this place knows that by now. Team MiG, I'm often the only one who's like ride or die for that plane. Don't know why. Well, I know why. It's because it's Soviet. They're the bad guys. But that plane rocks. Rocks my socks off. Yeah, your favorite plane is the F-18? Well, guess what we're building, buddy? The F-18 is cool. I get why, like, I understand it has, like, a, not a reputation, but when you compare it to, like, its predecessor, the F-14, it was always going to lose. Always going to lose. But it makes complete sense why it would replace the F-14. You know, it's cheap, way cheaper. Way cheaper. Simpler, one pilot. You know, just made sense. I also understand why people would be angry at that. Because the F-14 is one of the coolest things ever made. So I get why you would be a little bit peeved. These are different colors. You got a P-51 model. Nice. Was that the Kobe one, or was that a different one? Because obviously, Kobe in this set they have the Tom Cruise P-51. I'm always suspicious of Hollywood pilots. Tom Cruise's P-51 makes me like, oh boy. Right. Gonna put this here, and then I'm gonna slap one of the big boys on here. I think that's about right. Yep, one goes there. Sweet. Well, I'll be honest, this has actually been funner than I expected. As I said at the start of this program, if you can call it that, I'm not made a block something for a number of years, so this has been enjoyable. I'm sure I could have spent worse ways on a beautiful Saturday. As in, I could have been actually working. Instead, I managed to do this, which is pretty sweet. Now here's the question, what do I do when it's finished? Do I keep it in my office, or do I graciously offer it to the store for them to display? To be a hero or to be a villain? That is the question. Okay. Well, that's not helpful. You guys sit there. I am not going to be throwing this off a balcony, thank you very much. Or maybe, I don't know. Okay, maybe. Right, I've got lost again. Okay. Right, I did that, I did that, I did that. And these two little guys. Oh, these are the wrong two little guys. I need one of these little guys. Little double guys. If you're not familiar with the official Kobe terminology, double little guys means one of these little pieces. There we go. There's another double little guy. How does that work? Your boy's gone out stupid mode again. This is great streaming, by the way. Appreciate anyone who's just hanging out. Feel free to ask more, or else I'm just going to talk to myself. Yeah, 2, 2, and then those two go there. No. But these things don't join to anything. Oh wait, no, they go right behind. Oh, okay. Hey everyone, it's Euan with the Airza. I'm just being stupid. Hey guys, it's stupid with the Airza. But no, another reason why I'm doing one of these is because I saw fellow Scott aerospace YouTuber Scott Manley do one of these. He often buys like Lego sets and then just streams himself building them. I thought, hey, I'm Scottish. I should do that too. Someone should put that on a brick. Put what on a brick? Hello there, it's Scott Manley. I can't even do a Scott Manley impression anymore. Hello. One of the greatest insults that someone gave me on YouTube was they called me a bootleg Scott Manley, and not only did they do that, but they called me Mott Stanley. I was like, that is incredibly rude, and also not inaccurate. Appreciate you watching the videos. I'm a big fan of making them. And the fact that people watch them and get something out of them means the world to me. The fact that I get to share this incredible history and this incredible, these incredible stories is awesome. It's so cool. I used to work in sports. If you can believe that, I used to work in sports. Now I work in airplanes history. It's kind of wild. Turns out I'm pretty good at it. She's even wilder. Here's a fun fact. Here's some deep Euan lore, if you're interested in such a thing. When I started at the Air Zoo, I actually started... Hey guys, I'm a Euan with the Air Zoo, and I'm stupid. Hey guys, I'm stupid with the Air Zoo. I like I'm stupid with the Air Zoo. I might actually pay for myself to have that. But here's some deep Euan lore when it comes to Euan with the Air Zoo. I actually started the Air Zoo as an educator, and I lasted in that job for about 2 weeks. Less than that. In fact, I didn't even teach a single thing. I got laid off from my previous job, and I was like, I want to get out of social media. I've been in social media for a long time. I was like, I want to get out of here. It's the worst. I don't like it. It's so toxic and it's bad, and nothing productive ever comes out of, you know, the internet, social media in general. And then I saw this job on my orientation as an educator, and I was like, ooh, maybe I'll give it one more go. So then I applied, and then when I applied, the HR person at the time, she was like, oh, good. I was hoping you would apply. I was trying to figure out a nice way to ask you to apply. So then I got this job, and I've been happy ever after. What's my opinion on the F4U? The F4U, the beautiful Corsair. I think it's beautiful. I think Corsair is one of the... I called it one of the most recognizable or like iconic fighters of World War II, and somebody thought I was like arguing. Like, anyway, I think it's fantastic. I think that wing, you know. That wing is just insane, and that by all accounts the airplane was pretty good at what it did. What it did. First propeller airplane to get a victory over a jet. Fun Corsair fact. Shot down a MiG-15, pretty sure, in Korea, which is kind of cool. So yeah, I'm a big. I like the Corsair a lot. Some people really like the Corsair. I'm not one of those guys. Some people really like certain airplanes. You know, like they're like, oh, I know everything there is to do with like the Mustang or whatever. It's like, cool. That ain't me. I appreciate that, but that ain't me. I like to know a little bit about everything rather than a lot about one thing. But I respect those who know a lot about one thing. P-50, oh, that's a good point actually, yeah, maybe. Yeah, maybe a P-51 did tag a enemy. Huh. Yeah, maybe I'm wrong in that one. Whatever. Here's the top secret. It's okay to be wrong. Doesn't bother me. I'm wrong every day of my life. As long as you own up to it. As long as you're aware about it and learn. Yeah, that makes more sense that it was like a P51 or whatever. Maybe I'm thinking of like a specific stat that, like, you know how it is where the wording is like very precise, like how the SR-71 isn't the fastest aircraft in the world, it's the fastest air breathing aircraft in the world. Now what's the difference? Well, the difference is, you know what you mean if you say airplane. People know what you're understanding, but there's always that one person who goes, oh, X-15. It's like, yeah, we know the X-15 guy. We also know that's different from the SR-71. For example, couldn't take off. Couldn't just hop in it and fly. You can barely do that in the SR, but I mean, it's still feasible. Like, you still take off from it, and actually it would operate like an actual airplane rather than an experimental space plane. I guess that would be an appropriate term. What's your opinion on the B-29? B-29 is a fantastic plane. Beautiful, magnificent. I think that was the first fly-in I saw at the Air Zoo, was when the B-29 Doc flew into town. It was gorgeous. And I actually had pretty much landed myself I was going to Oshkosh that year, and I had for some reason I think I almost managed. There's a good chance of me landing a ride to Oshkosh on that B-29, which is, like, when you say it now, it's just insane that was even an option. But I decided I had already figured out how I was getting there, so I was like, don't worry about it. And then they ended up having an engine failure, so they missed Oshkosh. So I was quite happy to not get that right, because I went to Oshkosh and I had a blast. Hey, Amsterdam Aviator, thank you. I appreciate the love. Appreciate it. Appreciate everyone just chilling out. It's not. I can't imagine it was being particularly interesting, but nevertheless, I appreciate just hanging out and having fun, and I would like to do more of these in the future, as I said, or maybe do something a bit more structured in the future. Something, I mentioned well, that was unscripted, but like a tour of the collection. Something like that would be a lot of fun. I'd love to show off some of the goodies we've got. Now, does that go like that? Does that go like that? These are all the same piece. This is riveting stuff. Oh, there's another one. Why did the B-17 last year get cancelled? The B-17 last year did not get cancelled. The B-25 got cancelled last year. And that was because, and I'm not the best, I don't know this for sure, so don't take this as necessarily fact. From my understanding, Yankee Air Museum, they had to do some extensive maintenance on the fire suppression system of that B-25. Now, that meant they had to create some like modifications and stuff, which meant it needed to be like certified by the FAA. So when they did that, when they realized they needed those fixes, that canceled their season pretty much immediately. the B-17, the B-17 came here. Now the B-17 was cancelled. It was scheduled to come here, and then it did get cancelled this year because all the B-17s got grounded for wing spar issues. Basically, they found a crack on a wing spar on one of the B-17s that's still flying around. I think it was aluminum overcast, which wasn't even flying, but I think they found wing spar cracking, damage, and something. So they grounded all the B-17s pretty much in the States until they could carry out inspections. So I had essentially written off B-17 flights. I was like, they're not flying this year. I was wrong. They got inspected pretty sharply, and they passed, which is no surprise, in my opinion, because Yankee Air Museum, they run a really nice operation out there. Yeah, there's a reason I feel comfortable jumping in these old planes and flying with Yankees, because they do great. They do a great job, and they give a shit, care about safety. So yeah, all the B-17s got grounded, and then they're slowly coming back online one by one, which is great to see. Especially, you know, after last year, and I can only say from my opinion, but when that B-17 when Texas Raider went down in that horrible crash, the horrible accident, in the summer, and then that followed by the grounding of all of them for the wing spar issues. I was convinced B-17s were toast. I was convinced that flying B-17s were over, at least in the United States. And I was really surprised to see them back up and flying. And then not just back up and flying, but back up and flying this year too. It's good to see. Especially for, you know, our friends at Yankee Air Museum. Like, they're a flying museum. I'd love to. Yeah, that was the one with the P-63. I'm not going to get in a conversation about that incident here. It's not appropriate. Because we know, you know, people here know people who were on that or work with that and stuff. And it was really sad. Real sad day. Same earlier with Oshkosh as well. You know, there was that T6 went down. It's just awful. 30-year-old pilot. I hate to say it, but I mean, it's part of the reason we don't fly anymore. Our airplanes. It's just the cost is just, the cost both ways is expensive in terms of when it goes wrong and even when it goes right. It's expensive, and we'd hate to lose one of these airplanes in an accident, and then have that be completely gone from history. Which is why I'm very much fine with us being a display-only museum, which I know annoys people. I get it. Some people aren't happy about it, especially since we used to be a flying museum and we aren't anymore. A lot of people say that, feel that might be like a betrayal of some sort. Okay, that's fine, but they're not your planes. They're ours. Have you ever heard of the American Heritage Museum? I might have. That sounds like a flying museum to me. Yeah, I'm not too familiar with that one. What are we on? Okay, well, that's clearly not right, is it? What are you doing, man? It's because I'm seeing the time and I'm getting flustered, and I realize there's another bag for me to open as well. Absolutely not getting this done today. Should have given myself way more time. Yeah, yeah. When you're a kid growing up in Port, yeah. I mean, that used to be the thing where like over here, we would have airplane. It was a flying collection for the most part. So most of our airplanes would fly. Most of the airplanes would fly. You know, like one. Well, I'm pretty sure. Obviously, I wasn't around, but I'm pretty sure like there was an airplane flying every day. It would go up, and it would fly around, do a little show, and it would come down. I bet it was awesome. I have no doubt it was awesome. But unfortunately, circumstances change. That's not how you spell my name. I am failing, like, right now. I want to get this back done, and then we will revisit this next week, I think. I think that's what's going to happen. Because I am struggling. Like, my spatial awareness skills have decided just to go zero right now. If you could fly in a plane, which plane would you fly in? That is a good question. Now, that's a great question. If I could fly in any plane, what plane would I fly in? Okay, so I'm going to assume, like, I'm going to be realistic. I'm going to assume, like, it's an airplane that's still flying. So it's something that I could actually get a ride in. I would probably say right now, I would love to fly in, like, a Lancaster. We had a visitor from Canada, from like the Canadian Warbirds, something like that, a couple of weeks ago, and I really want to fly in that Lancaster. If I could fly like in any plane, like I would love to. I mean, I'd love to go in something that like a jet of some sort, like something really stupid, where you know you're just like killing the environment, and I'd love to like a MiG or something. That would be fun. But I think the Lancaster is like probably the most realistic one for me right now, even though it's very expensive and I can't afford it. But nevertheless, that would be a sick airplane to fly in. Yeah, the tri-motor. I will fly in the tri-motor too. I've never flown in the tri-motor. There's obviously a tri-motor Oshkosh that does rides. I never rode in it. My friend John, his docent here, he flew in it. He was terrified. He said it was the most scary thing he's ever done. That's not right again. Why is this? Is that right? Yeah. Okay. Okay, that's that. And hey guys, it is very much stupid with the AirZoo right now. There we go. Yeah, taking a cat shot off a carrier is something I would love to do. Yeah, that seems like something I would enjoy. Yeah, even put me in like a Hawkeye, or like just one of those like propeller ones. It doesn't even have to be a jet. Like put me in like a naval aircraft and let me do a cat shot. Cause that would be sick. Is the AirZoo the best job you've ever had? Well, hey buddy, I'm literally playing with toys, and I'm getting paid for this. You tell me. In my old job, right about now, I'd be outside are in a very, very hot and stinky press box, watching hours and hours of baseball. So, you tell me. You tell me. I'd rather be here. I hear an airplane above me. High up one. Now I've got to get the tracker up. I'll do it later. All right, I wanna get this bag done, because I am losing patience, my mind, I'm losing it. Okay, these are all been like, these are the same pieces, but they're all slightly different, just slightly stupider angles. Okay, let's see, what do we need? Okay, so that one, that goes there, goes there. This is riveting stuff. Sup, everyone? Everyone jumping in now is, yeah. Hello, thanks for joining. We're just doing a chill thing. Ain't nothing but a chill ting. Okay, so this guy. No, this guy. No, that's the end guy. Oh wait, no, I can just... Okay, you boys figured it out. Something clicked in his little brain. The wheels are in motion. The wheels are in motion. Something's finally clicking. It's only taken him 3 hours, but he's doing it. Ooh, baby. What's your opinion on the B-24? I don't have an opinion on the B-24. I don't know much about it. I like it. It looks cool. I like the one they have in beautiful Dayton, Ohio. Folks, don't you love Dayton, Ohio? They have a beautiful B-24 strawberry bitch. Strawberry bitch, ladies and gentlemen. It's got a great nose art on it as well. I would love to catch a ride in one of those things. It'd be a lot of fun. I think there's only one that's like flying in the States, so the chances of that are pretty low. Witchcraft, I think that's what it is. That flies in the States. That used to be called Dragon in His Tail, which had like one of the longest, if not the longest, like nose art of a World War II aircraft. It had like a dragon, and its tail would extend the whole fuselage of that airplane. It was a rude one as well. It had a naked lady on it. I imagine she was the so-called tail. But it's a really cool airplane, Dragon in His Tail. Right. Okay, these are our rudder vaders. Or not rudder vaders, just elevators or whatever. Okay, so... Oh, wait, these go on here. So we have our under bit. That goes like that. This goes like this. Where do these clips gone to? Okay, we go there. Let's go here. Bam! Shout out Ross Aviation. There you go. Happy? We're going to add this. Oh, wait. We add this whole thing here now. Oh, here we go. Oh, baby. Oh, God. Oh, I hate joining like big bits to big bits, man. It stresses me out. Oh, it doesn't line up. Oh, no. Oh, yay. Oh, no. No, click in. I'm in the restoration center, so I could just fetch a big hammer and make it comply. Cool. Cool. Right. I have extra pieces, but I don't think they have a home yet. There we go, folks. Part one of this magnificent airplane. I still have like the entire second half to do. Is that right? Okay, about that. So I'm gonna call it quits today. I might come revisit this later. I might just build this in my free time. Thanks for hanging out, everybody, on today's little live chat. That was fun. Yeah, I might build this. I might continue building this at a later date sometime next week. Maybe next Saturday, maybe a little bit before. Maybe I'll just do it on a lunch break and not live stream it. I don't know. But pretty cool. I had fun hanging out with everybody today. Thanks for spending time with us here on the Air Zoos little live stream here. Make sure you check us out, airzoo.org. You can buy this model or models like it online at airzoostore.org. You want to throw us a couple of bucks? Throw us a couple of bucks. airzoo.org/donate or super chat it or whatever. I hope everyone has a great rest of their Saturday, sorry. Have a good Sunday. Cheerio, everyone.